Hello everyone, Horseman here, and welcome to another edition of the Necromancer Beta. In this video, I am going to be highlighting one of the new sets that has been introduced into the beta. Specifically, it is going to be the Bone set. The main topics I'm going to be covering in this video are going to be centric to the Bone set, its passives, as well as how it performs in combat. First and foremost, before I start getting into the different builds that I'm going to be using, let's go ahead and discuss what the Bone set actually looks like, which is right here. So you got those nice pronounced shoulders. It looks like demon jaws, as well as even on the face, as well as a ribcage looking chest piece. But it does look like perhaps something is missing around the waist. You have that bone look around the greaves. I'm actually a big fan of this set. I think it looks great. But so far, dyeing it doesn't look all that great. So I don't really recommend dyeing it just yet. Hopefully it is one of those things that changes before it goes live. Because it just, what it's going to end up doing is just changing all of the colors of the primary body parts here. So it's going to be just changing these things. So whereas the black portions are going to be remaining the same. So if you dye it all black, you're just going to look like a walking shadow. You know, things like that. Okay, so I said I wanted to talk about the actual set itself and its passives, so let's go ahead and go over those real quick. The two-piece. Your minions have a chance to reduce the cooldown of Army of the Dead by 1 second each time they deal damage, which is one of the main reasons why I'm going to be using Land of the Dead, as well as trying to get as many of those minions out as possible. Now, I am not using the Golem because of, I mean, honestly, I would love to, but there's just not enough room. And the benefit of Golem over, say, Revive is just not as good. I'm able to get a lot more pets up with Revive, and with my Skeleton Mages also provide a lot of extra bonus towards the Land of the Dead damage as well as the cooldown, so compared to what the Golem is going to offer. Same thing with the Command Skeletons. I'm going to get a lot more damage and a lot more crowd control, if you will, with the Skeletons, and a lot more control over the Skeletons than I would with the Golem as well. Now, and because there's more, I mean, you can see I have 7, it's also going to be contributing to the cooldown. It's also going to be contributing to my damage buffs. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be changing some things up from my norm and going with more of a melee build, and also focusing on kind of that Revive. You know, I was using Revive quite a bit in the previous videos, and I do like that ability, but because of how much the minions are affecting the cooldowns as well as my my defense buffs, I'm gonna go ahead and get Revive in there as well and try to keep as many up as possible. Now, the nice thing about doing this is that I'm not relying on corpses for anything else other than keeping those pets up. So I'm still able to generate essence if I need it, for the sake of getting my skeleton mages out, my command skeletons to do what they need to do, as well as my curses. All in the hopes of getting my Army of the Dead down, cooldown replenished as quickly as possible. So that's the end goal with this. I shouldn't have that much of a hard time getting pets up, doing attacks, reducing that cooldown on my Land of the Dead, so that, or Army of the Dead, so that way I can have that up more often. Another changes for Skeleton Mages, since it's more melee, what I'm going to be doing is using the Skeleton Mages, the Contamination Rune, to raise a Contaminated Mage that channels an aura of decay. And what I can do is put that around me, and that'll do a lot of damage, and it does a lot of pulsing damage. And because I have the Extended Servitude passive up, it will increase the duration of my Skeleton Mage and Revive minions by 25%, so I'm going to see that increase for both mages and my Revive. Eternal Torment, I still like the idea of that any curse that I put on there will cost 50% less essence and last forever. And that being said, I'm also using Cursed Scythe in the hopes that I can get the Frailty curse on enemies and do a massive amount of damage when I'm out there. Hopefully it can do some executions. In doing, since the real benefit of that particular passive is for your command golem, and I don't have command golem, I'm going to go ahead and change it to swift harvesting because of the Grim Sight. Let's see how it does.
Embrace your power, and you will survive.
Again, my power is going to be coming from my pets more so than from me.
world can abide you no longer.
straight.
I have trained well. Your death nears.
The Rift Guardian is here.
Alright, so you saw how my Land of the Dead, before I got teleported away, just absolutely and utterly wrecked that Rift boss. And right before I did use my... I'm sorry, not Land of the Dead, Army of the Dead. Right before I used my Army of the Dead, I put out a few of my skeleton mages to help buff that damage up by a significant amount. And this build did perform better than my previous one, so what do you know? Honestly, I think that this build would perform even better if I used my generator as a ranged ability. But that just seems to be the go-to thing, is to create a ranged Necromancer, and I know that there are plenty of folks that are clamoring over a more of a melee build. Now, at higher Torment levels, at higher Greater Rift levels, this will not work because I don't have a lot of defense in here besides my set bonuses. I don't have bone armor. So honestly, this is going to be one of those things that's going to change in the long run. But this is, I think, a good interim build, and I think it's a great complement to the bone set. Alright, so that's going to be it for right now. I hope you enjoyed this video as an introductory to the bone set and of some possible builds and how it kind of works and functions. If you like this video, please throw it a like and subscribe for more as I continue to go through the different sets. Alright, until next time, Horseman out.